Hey guys, welcome back to another video of What If Morgan stayed with Rick in The Walking Dead. So let's get into it. So we start off by seeing Daryl running back to the camp after seeing how many walkers are in the barn. And he goes to Rick and he tells him about it. And he's like, "Oh, Rick, there's walkers in the barn." And Morgan hears about this, and then Daryl's like, "I'll tell y'all everything I saw if you just come with me, because there's walkers in that barn. He even killed a lot of them." Rick says that he should take them. Rick says first he should take us there. Jim already gets out his axe, and Dale says, "Well, you should put it down, because they're just gonna go check for now." And for this, Jim would agree, and the group would so the group go, and it's just Rick, Morgan, and Daryl who go, and when they go in the barn, they see walkers, and the dead walkers Daryl killed. And after that, the group are a bit confused, and they're wondering why Herschel's keeping these walkers in the barn. And he's just getting pretty confused. And Rick would get out his gun, but just as then, Maggie and Glenn come inside, and then Glenn would see how many walkers are in there. And Maggie says she can explain, and she says that Herschel, she thinks that they're just sick, and he thinks that they're just sick people who he can help turn back normal, because he doesn't think that they're zombies. He thinks that they're people who are just sick. And Rick understands this, and he tells the group that he will talk to Herschel in the morning, and he tells Glenn to stay awake and keep guard of the barn just in case anything happens. Rick says he will talk to Herschel about this in the morning, and when Rick goes to Herschel to talk about the walkers in the barn, they start hearing something in the distance, like someone's doing something, but they just ignore it. But then they hear a gunshot go off in the distance, and they hear more gunshots, and when they look, it's Shane and the others killing the walkers at the barn. And Shane just starts to continuously kill the walkers at the barn, and Rick runs over to Shane, but there's no stopping Shane and the others at this point, because they're all going all out on the walkers. And Shane, he doesn't stop. He keeps on going. Shane is on a rampage, and he tells Rick it ain't like it was before, and he kills more and more walkers. But eventually, Shane stops after all the walkers are dead. And Shane asks Rick if he's with him or not. And Shane wants to know that. And he says he has a pretty good idea about what his answer is. And it's no. And Shane just points his gun at Rick, because this is how crazy he is in the story. And Rick, he's not backing down, so he points his gun at Shane as well. But then the season 2 herd is already here at the barn, at the farm, because of how many gunshots, how many more people survived, meaning more people, more guns, meaning more loudness. And that means the season 2 horde is already here. And they start getting in the full farm. And when Patricia isn't looking and just in shock about how the group is falling apart, she's just in disbelief, but walkers from behind come and start eating Patricia, which leads to Patricia dying. And Merle sees this, and he kills some of the walkers on Patricia, and Merle says, "We gotta go now, or else we're all dead." And the group start running, and considering Jackie wanted to die in season 1, and she did, she didn't want to live in this world, so when she gets the chance to die, she just runs in the horde. Not like run in it. She holds the walkers back, but eventually she does get eaten by the walkers, which leads to her death. Jimmy and Dale get in the RV and they just start dipping. And saving like Beth and like a couple others who can't like defend themselves. I think they just saved Beth, Lori, and Carl probably, and Lewis and Sophia, and some other kids, I guess. I don't think there is any other kids, but okay. But when Sophia is trying to run in the RV, she gets bitten in the leg, then in the arm. Then walkers continue to eat her, and Carol wants to help Sophia, but she really tries to, but Daryl saves Carol, and Daryl tells Carol that it'll all be right, and Jim gets out his axe and starts killing some of the walkers, and Daryl is killing the walkers to get Carol into the RV. Eventually she gets in there. Morgan gets in a fight with some of the walkers, which he of course wins, and Otis would get in his car and leave also because Shane never took his car because Shane never killed him. And when Shane and also Rick are running together, Shane basically points his gun at Rick. Rick also gets his gun out, and now they're just getting in a full-on complete battle while the walkers are coming. But eventually, Rick gets the upper hand and grabs Shane's gun and shoots him in the stomach. Shane shoots at the walkers with his other gun that he has, and he eventually is able to crawl away, barely making it out alive. And there's still plenty more walkers, and they can't really help Shane out, so, and even if they wanted to, why would they? And Rick is all alone now at the farm because everybody already left, and he sees the barn burning and the whole farm getting destroyed. But eventually Glenn and Maggie pull up in a car beside Rick, and they tell him to get in, and Rick jumps in, literally, I swear, jumping in, and he tells them to drive as fast as they can. And after they're all safe, Glenn and Maggie tell them about how they saw Andrea get separated from the group. The group all meet up at some place, and they talk about who they lost. Morgan asks this question: so who did we lose? Maybe someone that couldn't defend themselves, or they were weak or something. Morales says that he saw Sophia getting eaten and some others like Jackie and Patricia. And Rick says he saw Sophia getting bitten and he shot Shane. And T-Dog asks if Shane's alive or not, because Rick just said, I shot Shane. He didn't say if he's dead or alive. And T-Dog says that I think he's probably is alive because of just a couple gunshots. Daryl says he saw Shane crawling away when he was riding his bike out. But before anyone else could talk, more walkers start coming on the bridge, and then everybody starts getting in their cars and leaving. And we see Shane, who's still out on the road, and Shane finds Andrea, and he also finds someone with Andrea named Michonne. Andrea tells Shane that Michonne saved her life after the farm and everything. But guys, that'll be it for today, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed, and bye-bye.